So then, as junior man, you get to go first, Lieutenant Rymer. Then Captain Pascoe, then myself. This is to make sure the whole rank thing doesn't influence you unduly. You must feel free to speak your mind. Right.
Sir?
So, what are the key points for you?
Well, I'm troubled, sir. I mean, the prosecution summing up was all quite right. Private Grady did not challenge any of the charges against him. He admitted that he was ordered to engage the enemy when the power complex location came under attack. He confirmed that he understood the order, but instead he made to leave the area and encouraged others to do so. He admitted to all the charges, but... The defense made a good point. It was a situation without military precedent. Creatures suddenly appeared with unknown assault capability, and the only order given to the men was to hold them off. No soldier can operate under those conditions, and a man of Grady's intelligence would have seen that.
It's not a decision for a junior soldier to make.
Isn't it? Unit men are chosen because of their intelligence as well as their military skills. We didn't ask for cannon fodder. We wanted intelligent, thinking soldiers. Grady made a decision, not out of cowardice, but out of intelligence. They were fighting an enemy our weapons apparently had no effect on, an enemy which was able to reinforce in unknown, potentially limitless numbers, and still the instruction was to engage them, even as the casualties rose. To my mind, Grady saw the situation was untenable and took the correct decision to withdraw.
And told others to do so.
Yes, but is that surprising? He'd even heard his platoon sergeant state clearly on the radio to the commanding officer that they couldn't hold them off. He shouted to the rest of his platoon to pull back, clearly concerned for their safety. He wasn't mad with fear or panicking.
His job was to obey orders. He deserted his position, he refused to do his job. Everything else for me is just blustering excuses. If that was a Russian armored brigade, we wouldn't even be having this debate.
But it wasn't. That's my point, sir. An armoured brigade has known strengths and weaknesses. It's a military situation. It is easy to understand. The invasion of a research facility by, well, aliens is not. In circumstances like that, improvisation is all one has left. If that improvisation is to
run,
withdraw, who knows how many lives Grady's decision may have saved.
But they didn't, did they? His platoon stood firm.
And only 2 men survived.
The fact is, he withdrew without orders.
Using the intelligence we recruited him for in the first place to make the decision. That's the main point for me, sir.
Anything else?
The only other point for me is that it wasn't a unit officer who even insisted Grady was charged. It was a regular army general who happened to be present.
Your point being?
That unit people know the situations their men are forced to function in. They are more flexible, adaptable than regular soldiers. If you are told to secure a position in a conventional war, there are drills, training practices, tactics that are applicable. Unit fight against the astonishing and the absurd. Drones made of living plastic. Guerrilla men. Cybernetic soldiers. Robots. They have to be able to adapt to 1,000 situations that we couldn't think of in our worst nightmares. If their men aren't able to perform in such circumstances, then they are returned to the regular army, not court-martialed, even in secret. If that general had not been present at the complex, then Grady would never have been charged.
So
I am saying that normal practices of the military may not apply here.
Grady took an oath.
Sir!
He took an oath. As did we all, and I quote, to honestly and faithfully defend Her Majesty, her heirs and successors in person, crown and dignity against all enemies.
I'm sure it didn't involve enemies from another planet.
But the fact is, Grady ran. He broke the chain of command and withdrew without orders. We cannot let this become a precedent, especially not among unit men who see action regularly. Did he do it? Yes, that's it. No other points to make. Flip to page in Queen's Regs covering sentencing and wrap this thing up. That's where I come down.
I think I've heard enough to gather your verdicts, gentlemen, but for the record, Lieutenant Rymer, according to the Queen's regulations, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, sir.
Captain Pascoe, according to the Queen's regulations, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Yeah. I suppose it's down to me then. Well then, let's not keep him waiting.
Stand up. Prisoner will remain standing while sentence is read out.
D2662834, Private Larry Grady. For the record, the verdict of this court was not unanimous, but on a 2-to-1 majority, this court-martial finds you